to San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino for Fight Night in America, only on Fox Sports Net. Presented by the Empire Sports and Entertainment, DLA Entertainment, in association with San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. The judges at ringside, Kermit Bayless, Raul Kais, and Jonathan Davis. And the referee in charge of all the action, Jack Reese. And now, San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino, let's get busy. It's time for the main event, 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red, white, and blue trunks. He comes in with a professional record, 45 wins, 29 by knockout, against only 14 defeats. He weighed in at 216 pounds from Topeka, Kansas. Give it up for dangerous Damon Reed.
Danger time.
Fighting out of the red corner, wearing the green trunks. With an impressive win total, 72 victories, 44 by knockout. He's only lost 6 times with 3 draws. Fighting out of Sherman Oaks, California. Boxing fans know him around the world. He is the former middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and cruiserweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the IBA heavyweight champion of the world, James Lights Out Toney.
And the referee in this fight is Tony Krebs, and he will call the fighters to the center of the ring.
Commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, go back and wait for the bell. Good luck.
Tail of the tape, and Benny, it took a lot of tape.
And Damon Reed has the advantage just about everybody all across the board there except in the record, but of course James Toney cannot be defined by numbers. He is something else.
At 257, he has only been this heavy one other time in his boxing career. But I'll tell you what, he may not win a beauty contest, but when it comes to style, he just knows how to fight.
James Nathaniel Toney, he's every bit of that, and the thing with him is, boy, he understands angles. He's trained out there at the Crunk Gym by the great trainers like Bill Miller, Eddie Cotton. That's when they had Hilmer Kenty over there. They had Mickey Goodwin, Tommy Hearns. A great environment there that Emmanuel Stewart built up, and he really learned his craft. He also learned it out there on the street, like I said, on Cass Street, out there where the Mayweathers and Tony Tucker grew up at. So in his fighting environment has been his whole life, and he's comfortable here.
Tough neighborhood. Now for Reed, what he wants to do, needless to say, stay out of harm's way. You can't really take the fight to James Toney.
You know, he said he felt great. He said he was going to come right at Toney, which I didn't think that was going to be the right recipe. But he says he can move around. He says he's in great shape, the best shape of the 19 years that he's been in the gym. He says he's a gym rat, so he loves to train. But again, this is a different animal right here.
Well, that's the thing. And Toney won't let a guy run because he cuts the ring off so well.
And he also, he's just so hard to hit as James Toney.
Yeah, you wouldn't think a guy that big would be hard to hit, but your point is absolutely well taken.
See the way he turned that shoulder right there? And then he rolls with it, has the hands always around that area where he can protect himself. And right now, he's just biding his time, just setting up Damon Reed, letting Damon Reed move around until he gets his shot.
Well, at some point, Damon Reed's going to have to come to him. There he came off the ropes. Damon Reed unable to do any business thus far in this fight.
And you know, we did get the clarification also from James Toney about MMA. He said he's very interested in continuing with that.
Yeah.
So Rampage Jackson has called him out. He says he's welcoming that challenge.
Well, we talked to him about boxing too, and he said, I'm not going to retire until I've unified the heavyweight championship. Now, that could fall into the category of wishful thinking, but with James Toney, I'm never going to say no.
And he said at 42, he's just getting started, Baron. fact, he commented about you. He said, "You're not getting any older.
No, you're
You're
right.
just like me."
And he's absolutely right.
He said, "Neither one of us are getting any older, Barry."
First fight I did of his 22 years ago.
What did he weigh?
He was a middleweight. Well, he weighed 161 for that fight.
And you look at the losses. When there was one loss to Drake Dotsie, that was also when he had all kinds of trouble making weight. The 39-year-old Reed has moved and moved and moved.
Unable to really launch anything, though. And just by virtue of the little that he did do here, Toney is going to win this round. Toney really hasn't thrown a punch with intent yet. Round 2 just underway. James Toney in the green trunks and Damon Reed in the red, white, and blue stripes.
And listening to the corner of Toney, this is his first fight with Buddy McGirt as his trainer, training down at the gym that Buddy McGirt has on Olympic and Bundy in Los Angeles. And the instructions there was to work the jab, work the jab.
Buddy McGirt, another guy who has made the transition from outstanding boxer to outstanding trainer.
Now Toney says he's been training for 4.5 months for this fight.
Did he say on and off?
And again, that's a very ambitious goal that he's got, to unify all the titles. And he's got some special names for the Klitschko brothers.
Team up.
And also David Hay.
Well, Damon Reed actually fought David Hay. Got stopped by him. He said he was the biggest puncher he'd ever faced.
David Reed, who's been around the world as a boxer, now spending a lot of time training fighters back in Topeka, Kansas.
There's a jab from Damon Reed.
Yeah, but you can just tell Toney's just planting that trap. You know, just planting that trap.
Well, that's the thing about Toney. I mean, you know, Toney does all those little things that I think you have to be around this sport a little bit. He almost slipped there. Have to be around the sport a bit to notice.
And now he's starting to work that jab that Buddy McGirt asked him to go ahead and start working.
Getting a little more into punching range, too.
Really dug that right hand to the body of Reed.
You know, and the thing about Toney, too, is that, you know, you may think he's going slow and moving kind of slow and not on his toes because of age. He fought that way when he was a middleweight 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's been his whole style throughout that. But again, what I always marvel, you see his personality, and that's a, you know, very aggressive guy, says, you know, what's on his mind, things like that. But yeah, the best thing that he does in the ring is that defensive. The defensive skills that he has, being able to roll, being able to go ahead and give you the difficult angles to hit all those little things that you talked about, Barry.
That's absolutely right. He's a very interesting guy, James Toney. I mean, in and out of the ring. Damon Reed, on the other hand, kind of an entrepreneur. He owns a couple of sports bars, owns a gym, I believe, in Topeka.
Yeah, he says he's done very well for himself and the notoriety that he's gotten through boxing.
Coming to the end of the second round, and again, Toney kind of winning by default. We're coming back. Don't go away. This is round 3. James Toney and Damon Reed, our main event. Toney comes out with a little more intent in this third round.
Well, Buddy McGirt told me, no, he's not going to come to you. You're going to have to go get him. I know you're trying to plant the bait for him to go ahead and come on in, but no, just work behind that jab. Stick, 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 and then throw that right hand to the body and you'll break him down.
Well, I think he's thinking that Damon Reed might fight the same fight he fought against Hasim Rahman. He stayed away from him very much like he is now for the first 5 rounds. Then he finally figured, if I want to win, I got to come after him. He went after him in the 6th round, got knocked out. It was a left hand from Reed, his best punch of the fight. And of course, Toney tried to encourage him to fight. There was a good right hand to the head by Toney.
And he's starting to walk him in, trying to walk him in.
Now he backs off, trying to lure Reed in.
And this is the same type of thing that Damon Reed did against Hasim Rahman. Until finally, the legs started to go after that, and then 6th round was when Hasim Rahman finally caught him. And look at James. I mean, he's not even breathing. I mean, this is his comfort level. And a lot of things in boxing varies that nervous energy. A lot of boxers use up 40% of their energy in nervous energy. This man, this is his comfort level.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No nerves from James Toney.
Right, James?
I can't help it that Damon Reed looks something like a young Jack Nicklaus.
He does.
Kind of backhanded jab. Toney says, come on, fight. Good quick right hand by Toney.
Watch your head.
And you can see the trap right here that Toney's starting to plant. Give Damon a little self-confidence.
Keep him up, James.
Damon Reed, on the other hand, throws that one jab, and then see right there, he thinks now he can reach him with that jab. So Damon's got to keep doing that.
That's where Toney wants it, needless to say, on the
Exactly.
Good work out here. Stop punching. Step back. Don't push.
Now, Reed says he never has been in better shape for a fight than he is for this fight. He, by his own admission, blew up to fight Hasim Rahman. He was 238 when he fought him. No real punishment in this fight, but Toney, on my card at least, is winning every round just by the fact that he's doing something and Reed is doing very little.
Time.
Welcome back to round 4 now, and James Toney on my card has a shutout going.
Yeah, absolutely. Also in mine. Buddy McGirt still ask him to work that jab, work everything behind that jab, and then throw that right hand to the body.
And he is a very good body puncher.
Well, I think that's a shot that he would have. If he fought the Klitschko's, that'd be the one shot, that body shot, because it's tough to reach the head of guys 6'8".
He's been there before, James Toney. That even made Reed smile.
Well, for Reed, this is his idol. He's idolized 2 guys in boxing. It's Muhammad Ali, and this is the other guy, James Lights Out Toney.
Right. No punching. Step back clean. Don't elbow. Don't shoulder. Let's go,
Toney has
Damon.
that look on his face like, I'm bored.
Well, he keeps waiting for Damon Reed to come in there so he can tag him.
Well, to Damon Reed's credit,
Stop.
he hasn't.
Stop. Let him go, Damon. Let him go. Let him
By
go.
the same token, he's not doing anything to help him win the fight.
Box.
And you look at the guys that Damon Reed has been in. He's been in with Hasim Rahman, Monty Barrett, Roman Greenberg, Brian Nielsen. You mentioned David Hay. Yeah, he went to that body. Yeah, that was a nice body shot right there.
And now Reed doing what Toney does, and that is just kind of putting his hands on his hips and walking away. If you don't want to fight, okay.
Well, Reed was also telling me, come down to the center of the ring. I'll fight you. I'll try to fight you in the center of the ring, but I'm not going over there against the rope. Toney trying to throw that uppercut right there with the right.
Toney continuing to talk to him.
And again, that's such an important point about somebody's comfort level in the ring.
Watch your head, Damon. Watch your
He
head.
got something in his left eye, but I bet that's a trick too. Don't buy into that.
Could be. There was a right hand.
Backhand.
Toney looks like he can move on Reed almost any time he wants. Right to the body, left, right to the head, left to the body. Coming to the end of round 4, and it's really been more of the same thing. Reed tries to throw a right hand, comes up a little bit short, and more of the same for Toney.
Time.
We welcome you back, Barry Tompkins, Benny Ricardo. We're at the San Manuel Bingo and Casino here in Highland, California. This is round 5 of our main event. James Lights Out Toney in the green trunks, Damon Reed in the stripes.
And Buddy McGirt telling James Toney everything off the stick. The stick meaning the jab. And he says, attack that body. Attack that body and you'll break this guy down.
Toney made eye contact with us in between rounds. He's kind of saying, how am I doing?
Damon Reed so far, though, has had the legs to be able to stay away from James Toney. And he needs to continue to go ahead and just move around in the hopes that maybe he can tire out James Toney and then start putting on some pressure himself.
I'm sure that is the hope, actually. And Toney right now, though, is not being made to work very hard. There's a right hand. Now, to Reed's credit, Toney has hit him with 3 or 4 reasonably good right hands, and Reed hasn't taken a backward step.
And here's where Buddy McGirt told him to go ahead and work that behind that stick and then go to the body. See that right hand right there, right at the body. Try to get Reed to drop that left hand.
Again, working the body, and there was a double left hand.
Low shot.
It was low, yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna, here, just keep him up, okay? Come on, hey, that was unintentional. Let's go. Come on, James, box.
So they will continue. They won't even give Reed the 5 minutes. And Reed slips the left hand in.
It's a trap, Barry.
You bet it is. Good jab stuck by Reed that time.
And that would work if he just takes that step to the side after he throws a jab. Don't stay there.
Body shot and a right to the head, and that got Reed's attention. But Reed's still there. And try to do a little bit more in this round.
Okay, break. Step back clean. Let him go. There you go.
Well, that might be the plan,
Okay,
to start after the 6th and then all of a sudden add the pressure towards Toney on the part of Reed.
But of course, it's only a 10-round fight, so you can't give away too many.
Watch that elbow, Damon.
Unless you think you're going to get him out of there, and nobody's been able to do that yet.
That's a good uppercut right there. Toney trying to set that up.
Get off his neck.
See, that's what Toney's trying to do right now. He's going to go under and then come straight up with that uppercut.
All right, break. That's enough. Don't lean on him. Hey, Damon.
Crowd getting a little restless here. Not unusual at a James Toney fight. Toney gets him in the corner, goes to the body. Works the body again. Coming toward the end of round number 5. Reed tries to fight back. We'll be back.
Time, both of you. Good.
This is round number 6. Toney has shut out thus far. Be hard to see it any other way.
And Buddy McGirt telling James Toney to stay behind the shoulder and you're not going to get hit, but tell him to back up Reed. On the part of Reed, his corner said, you know, that jab is getting there. That jab is getting there, so keep sticking that jab.
Toney continuing to try to work the body.
It's all right.
Reed complaining about being grabbed on the back of the head.
And this is the 6th round. This is the round that Rockman got. Damian Reed. See if Toney can do it. And of course, when Toney got together with Rockman, Toney took him out in the 3rd.
So back, so you turn into it. Be good, folks. It's okay.
And I'm not sure why the action was stopped there. What a bad left hand actually thrown by Reed in there.
And there's that body shot that Buddy McGirt wanted.
2 of them.
Come on, James. None of that. None of that.
And he made that little gesture towards the corner of Reed.
There was a good right hand. And Toney just steps out of the way. Toney must feel he can get him anytime he wants.
And he also, I think, feels that Reed cannot get him at any time.
Come on,
I think that's right.
Look what's happening.
Reed went with a lead right hand to the body, then came up with a left. It was a good left hand.
And that was right in the eye. Right eye. Might have been a thumb in the right eye.
Could be, because Reed was blinking. And now there is a welt under the right eye. And that will get big very quickly.
I mean, this is a master craftsman in Toney. Knowing the guy that, you know, he can do anything he wants, and it could happen at any time.
Overhand right by Toney.
Toney now just waiting, trying to time that shot out.
Coming to the end of round number 6. Toney working the room a little bit here. And just another 10 in the column for Toney.
Time.
Welcome back, round 7. James Toney pretty much having his own way with Damon Reed.
And that eye, it's below the eye. Barry, that thing's going to get huge in a real hurry here. You mentioned that in the last round. But I watched them work on that during the corner. They weren't able to get that thing down.
Yeah, and those things have a tendency just to blow up right now.
Buddy McGirt telling James Toney to keep working behind that jab.
Keep it up.
Says he's not going to go to the ropes. He's not going to come to the ropes to you. Now Damon Reed now talking to the crowd.
Yeah. Good jab by Reed. Toney obviously not hurt by it.
And you know, Damon Reed has watched James Toney fight a number of times, so he knows all the moves.
Imagine it's easier to identify them when you're watching on video, though.
And Buddy McGirt was right. Everything works behind that jab. That jab is right there.
Watch back there.
That was another low blow from Toney.
It's okay, let's go.
Right hand just a little short.
But that's the thing with Buddy McGirt told me. Reed is not going to come to you at the rope. You're going to have to fight him in the middle. Although now he's starting to stick.
Well, now a little bit of blood along the nose.
Reed complaining about another low blow.
Yeah.
Reed, he's got a good jab, Barry. Look at that, that's a snapping jab.
What Toney's doing there.
He looked at the corner.
Talking to somebody in his corner.
Break clean, no punching, please.
I mean, the living legend, James Toney's already been the subject of a major motion picture.
Yeah. He's a piece of work. There's a right hand from Reed. That might have gotten Toney's attention. Biggest action of the fight from Reed, and Toney content to grab a little bit here instead of pushing him off. Good punch, but wasn't enough to even win the round. This is round number 8. James Toney in his corner, kind of laughing and scratching with his handlers.
And of course, this is his first fight with Buddy McGirt as his trainer. And Buddy urging him to keep fighting behind that shoulder, For Reed, they told him, you know, that jab's getting in there. You got to use it more often.
You did get one good right hand in that I really think Toney felt. There's a right hand top of the head from Toney. And Toney says, come on. Toney says, be a man.
Keep him up, James. Keep him
And I
up.
think he's planning the trap
James.
right now, Toney is.
On the belt.
Doubling up on those body shots and looking to land that uppercut.
Toney just tapped him a couple times and hit him with the left hand.
So Barry, in their prime, Bernard Hopkins and James Toney.
I probably would go with Hopkins, and just because, again, like Toney, I think he's a guy that really knew how to fight.
Well, you ask Toney that, he says, you know, if I fought Hopkins, he would go to the morgue right after that fight.
That's right. I'm sure Hopkins might have those same feelings. I just always thought that James Toney, and I really like the guy and recognize all that he is a good right hand. I always thought he did just enough, just what he had to do and never any more.
Just so much talent.
Right. Step back, clean. Thank you. Pay attention.
I remember his battles too with Mike McCallum, body snatcher.
Yeah, I was looking at a list of people that he'd beaten, and there's some real familiar names in there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I call him the people's champion, because he's never ducked anybody in those divisions.
No, it's true.
Right.
Damon Reed, on the other hand, now just got to see if he can step it up, if he's got enough juice to step it up, because he's not going to win a decision here.
No. Right hand again from Toney. Not much there from Reed. Slapping right hand.
Let him go, Damon.
But see how Toney moves the head and the shoulders just enough for those shots not to be able to have any force on him.
Come to the end of round 8. It's getting to be pretty much the same story. Round in, round out. Chalk it up for Toney. So here we go, round 9. And Reed, I mean, Reed's been game. He's come here and in good shape, and it's not that he hasn't tried.
No, and he got some pretty good right hands in that last round.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to lead with that right hand. That's when he can get caught, though. Damon doing a good job of moving around, and he told us he's in great shape, and boy, he's shown it because he's had to move.
Yeah, no, he looks in good shape. Came in at 218, as we said, his last fight he fought at 238. He liked the idea that Toney was heavy, thought that gave him a good chance.
And look at James, though. He's not even breathing.
Well, he fights those kinds of fights where he makes you do all the work.
And he was aware of that, Damon Reed. He told me, he says, you know, he makes such a great defensive fighter, makes you use your legs, and that's exactly what he does.
Triple jab from Toney.
And, you know, he still has quick hands. I mean, he does. And that's the thing in that heavyweight division now.
Even Reed smiled after Toney cocked that right hand and didn't throw it.
It'd be interesting for Toney to make a little European tour and take on some of the heavyweights in Europe.
You know, I think he's the kind of guy that nobody wants to fight because you can't look good against him even if you beat him.
The key now would be is if he's enough of a draw to entice those guys to go ahead and possibly add his name on the resume.
I think that's a very good point. There's a double body shot in the left to the head.
And Damon trying to close that distance right there, not let Toney set up.
Double jab and then tried to slip an uppercut in. Didn't really get all of it. Headed for the end of round 9. It's been a dominant, if not necessarily edge of the seat, performance by Toney. That was as much push as it was punch. Now there's a good right hand. Welcome back, 10th and final round. Barry Tompkins, Benny Ricardo alongside. James Toney and Damon Reed come to the final 3 minutes. Fight that has been dominated by Toney.
And Toney telling his trainer he's pretty frustrated with the style of Damon Reed, and Buddy McGirt telling him, just finish strong in this particular round.
Trying to step it up a little bit. He did get there at the end of that last round with a pretty good right hand. Damon Reed got there with a triple left hand.
We'll see if Toney gives a little flash here at the end.
Quick right hand. He does bring that right hand really quickly.
And there's that uppercut that's been open. So it's just a matter of setting that up. See if he can set that up with a jab.
Trying to do more. That was a good right hand.
Oh, there was some mean intentions on that.
He stopped Reed in his tracks for the moment.
Hey, can you work out of there, Damon? Break!
I mean, at his best, James Toney was never a guy. He's not going to get you out of there with one punch.
Okay, let's go.
But he can finish.
And you're not going to hit him.
And you're not going to hit him. That's right.
Let him go, Damon. Step back. Let go of the rope. Break! Okay. Hold on, James. He is stuck. Okay, you okay? All right.
Reed walks away.
Talking right there to referee Toney Krebs as he was walking away. I really thought that right eye of Reed was going to really puff up, and so far they did a great job in the corner there.
Yeah, they must have gotten the end swell on it in a hurry, and it hasn't gotten appreciably worse.
Craig Cummings doing a great job on that cut. Or the swelling, I should say.
Well, now I think it would be rewarding for Reed just to finish the fight on his feet, and he tries to finish it with a flourish.
Right in his corner right there.
Let him up. Okay, here we go.
Reed again just walks to him. Or rather, Toney, I beg your pardon, walks to him. Coming to the end of this fight, and Reed will finish it by trying. And that's it, it's over. Commanding victory, I think, for James Toney. We'll be back.
Thank you, John.
We welcome you back to the San Manuel Bingo and Casino here in Highland, California. James Toney's night's work is over, and it was, I think, a pretty dominant win for him. We'll know. The judges, of course, still have to make their choices, although I had him pitching a shutout against Damon Reed, and Reed did show up in good shape, and he did survive, and he did his best. But I think this is just simply a case of being outmatched, and he was in there with a guy who's been around the track 78 times. He's 72-6, and that's for a good reason, and I think it's just going to be more of that tonight. We'll find out now as we take it to the center of the ring for the decision with Jeff Pope. Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino, we go to the scorecards. Judges Kermit Bayless, Raul Kais, and Jonathan Davis all scored the fight 100-90. For the winner by unanimous decision, James Lights Out Toney!
Well, as we suggested, it was a shutout pitched by James Toney tonight. Just a case of too much experience, too many quality opponents between him and Damon Reed, and Reed's record will go to 45-15. He was game, and he did come with his best intentions, but he was just in there with a guy that I think you have the feeling that if they fought 20 rounds, that James Toney would still win. Toney's still just kind of doing what he needs to do to win, and that's been the story of his career. He worked the body early in the fight, threw a few pretty good right hands, got that one between the gloves of Damon Reed, but for the most part, it was a lunch pail kind of victory for James Toney, and that can be said for a lot of his 73 wins. Reed had his moments. He had a couple of opportunities with the right hands, but he never had Toney hurt. Toney, meantime, just controlled the tempo of the fight and basically controlled everything because Damon Reed came in at 218 pounds. He just did not have enough against an opponent of the caliber of James Toney. Toney, we mentioned, from a tough town and still a tough guy at these advanced years. And right now, he's with Benny Ricardo. Benny.
James Toney, this is your first fight with Buddy McGirt as your trainer. Tell me, assess your performance for me this particular fight.
Well, like I said, my first fight in 2 years. Well, since 09. My first fight with Buddy McGirt, we had a short time together, and like I said, we enjoy each other. We're learning. Between both of us, we have 166 pro fights, so I'm bound to learn something else.
Well, you can't learn anymore. You are definitely one of the master defensive fighters of all time. That's part of the craft that you learn out there on that Cass Street back there in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But again, tell me, you've got some aspirations of unifying all the world titles. So tell me about your plans. In a perfect world, who would you like to go after?
Man, I want the Klitschko sisters. That's what we want. That's the main goal. But I'm not going to chase them over to Germany. I want to fight here in the States. I'm pretty sure my new promoter, Ray Cohen, we're going to make it happen. I will never fight the Klitschkos over in Germany. I want David Haye. I'll fight him over here in the United States. I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. I've been out of the ring for 2 years. The reason why, because everybody's been ducking me.
And that's why I called you before the fight. I called you the people's champion because you've never ducked anybody at any weight, at any time. You look at the 6 losses you've had. Those have actually only been to 4 different people and stuff. So that's one of the things that you do. You will fight and you'll take on anybody. How about some of the other, if you can't get the Klitschko, some of the other, I know you got a pretty unique name for David Haye and some of the other fighters. Tell me some of the other heavyweights.
Christina Ariola. He can get some. Thomasina Adamant, he can get some. It don't matter. I respect everybody in the game, but they seem to respect me. But like I said, I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, doesn't matter. All they gotta do is get the promoters to call my promoter, and we can get it on.
And that's him. Lights out. James Toney, ladies and gentlemen. Back to you, Barry.
I'm coming, Detroit.
All right, thanks very much, Benny. So there you have James Toney, a winner for the 73rd time in his long career that now spans 23 years. We'll come back and wrap it up right after this. Welcome you back, and we've come to the end of an evening of boxing here in Highland, California. And I think, Benny, now really the question that has to be asked is what's next for James Toney? I mean, is it just a succession of Damon Reeds, or do you step up and try to get to the Klitschkos?
Well, he's been inactive for 15 months, and I thought, he was doing some MMA, and I thought today he fought like an MMA striker. There wasn't a lot of combinations, there wasn't a lot of activity, and it was like picking his spots from time to time. So I think those are the kind of things that if he's going to stick in boxing, he's going to have to change that. He's going to have to be a lot busier, a lot more active, and he's going to work behind that jab. Buddy McGirt kept trying to get him to go ahead and work behind the jab and then dig the body with the right hand, and that's something he wasn't able to do. Damien Reed, again, very hard type of fighter to fight. That style does not bode well for James Toney.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I think the big question, too, that has to be asked is, do the Klitschkos want James Toney? He may want them, but do they want any part of him? Does Haye want any part of him? I think that's the question that needs still to be answered for James Toney as he looks down the road. Well, that's a wrap for us for tonight. For my partner, Benny Ricardo, I'm Barry Tompkins. So long, everybody. Fight Night in America from San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino in Highland, California has been brought to you in part by Empire Sports and Entertainment. We build markets around talent. By Dodge, built for people who love cars to drive past people who don't care about cars at all. And by San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino, now celebrating 25 years of fun. Visit sanmanuel.com for details.